Hey Aries, how are y'all doing? I'm back. I'm excited to be here. Yeah. Oh, that was a lot. I'll just. I don't know. Let's see what's up with my Aries for the month of October. I am probably going to. I'm gonna aim for once a month. I feel like right now that's about where I'm at. So yeah, we had some pop out. Let's see what we have so far. Aries, I love y'all. Okay, so far we have the one, the ocean, the offering, and the box. And I mean, the box is the idea that, you know, you're trapped in a cycle, you know, like you just keep, you get out of one situation only to find yourself right back in another one, only to get out of that to find yourself in another one. It's just kind of this like history of, I don't want to say history of fuck ups because that sounds really negative. And Aries, you guys are wonderful, beautiful people, and I love you so much. But you know, sometimes like forethought is not your favorite. So you move on, I guess I want to say like a carnal instinct. And when you move on a carnal instinct, sometimes you end up with carnal results. And that's not always a bad thing. Honestly, I think that people need to be more reliant on their intuition and their carnal natures. But that being said, you know, the beauty of the mind is the fact that we can strengthen our carnal instincts with our knowledge. And I want to say that has been like the missing piece. Okay, so then we also have the venom that popped out and the medallion. And that, I don't know if I did these, the hunter and the mirror. And again, with the box, I think that I would associate the mirror with the box, you know, and just that idea of reactionary behavior. Like your knee-jerk behavior, your knee-jerk reaction is what continues to keep you in a cycle. And the unfortunate part of that is that your knee-jerk reaction is coming from a place that is altered perception. You know, like you don't really know what's going on. Maybe you know, like you're watching somebody's social media, or you're talking to your friends and their friends, or, you know, like whatever. Sorry, I'm just like energy. But it feels like whatever it is, it just kind of keeps going round and round and round and round and round, and it never gets anywhere because nobody ever really knows what the fuck's going on. Everybody's just reacting from some sort of emotional reaction, whether that's you or another person, you know, because Aries, it could be either one. But take it how it resonates. The idea is that it keeps happening, and the hunter, and the venom, I want to go to that next, because I feel like the venom, you know, is a part of this perpetuated cycle. It's this idea of, hold on, sorry. Let's do this for a second. It's the idea that every time you see something, like a partial idea of something, or a partial, you know, like you know part of the story, but really you don't know the whole story. But before you do, you get angry, or before that person does, they get angry. This is, you know, energy is fluid. Take it how it resonates. It could be that you're dealing with somebody who you know, they hear your friend say something and they are attacking you for it. I mean, however it resonates, but there's just this like constant cycle of fractured ideas and spiteful words and spiteful actions in reaction to something that I think in your mind or in their mind, like you're trying to reach for something that you really want, but it's just not working because you can't get past this constant, like a get out of one box only to find myself in another, in part because at no point in time has this cycle ever been broken. It's always only ever been poisonous words and fractured perceptions and reactionary behavior, all in the name of winning the prize, whatever that prize is for you, whether it's a relationship with another person or a job that you're competing for with people at work, or I don't know, however that resonates for you. But the ocean, the one, the hunter, and the offering. I mean, the ocean is the idea of like bringing things back into balance. The hunter is, again, I feel like y'all have had this card so many times, but just kind of this possibly, moving to bring things into balance, because this demonstrates things being very out of balance, very one-sided, very misperceived, and then just like aiming for, moving toward bringing balance, so that a sincere offering can be made for connection, because it seems like whoever this person is that you're dealing with is somebody who you care about, and who I think that you see as somebody who can bring you balance, and yet like there's never been any balance, and it's you're just kind of like, I don't know, this feels frustrating. I feel just like frustrated right now. I don't know, I'm like irritated, not a good feeling, but wanting to move out of that, like wanting to separate yourself from that, or them wanting to separate themselves from that to make an offering, whichever side of the story you resonate with. But yeah, that seems to be what's coming through here. So let's see what else we get. The World and the Tower. I mean, that's like the end of the end. I mean, it does. It's like this cycle. This cycle is like, it's got to end. Like this can't continue. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Just trying the struggle bus today. Okay. This has to end, And I don't know if it did end or if it's in the middle of ending or what, but it's like there's no foundation there. There's nothing healthy there. There's nothing to be had there. You know what I mean? And it's just this idea of like a cycle ending. Yay for the World card with the box, because that's exciting for you, Aries. Being done with and bringing an end to unhealthy cycles of emotionally manipulative, reactionary behavior is what I want to say with that. Again, whether you're the one who's doing it or another person, the habit, it's almost like a habit that you formed. It's like when you when you go back home to your parents, and it's like everything, like nothing changed, and they still talk to you the same way, and you're like, oh, excuse me, like how did this happen, or like you watch other people go to their families and you witness this like change in their behavior, and you're just like, what, who are you right now? You know what I mean? But it's that idea that like sometimes behaviors become habitual, and when they do, then it takes that like extra effort to really end it, I mean, and you have the World and the Tower. That's like major arcana, major ends, major completions of cycles. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune. Y'all are on the major arcanas today. Two of Swords, Page of Wands, Four of Wands, and Ace of Swords. So, I mean, still with the idea of cutting out behaviors, I want to say knowing what those behaviors are and how to cut away with them and having an understanding of them. I almost want to say like it's that idea of like name it and tame it, you know, like once you know what you're doing, once you realize what it is, then it's way easier to deal with it, you know. And your luck changing, I want to say with that. The Four of Wands and the Page of Wands is the idea of wanting to take a message, which I would say is, you know, this idea of bringing an offering of peace and balance, you know, but the Hunter with the Page of Wands is just kind of, again, that idea of like going forth with a message. I mean, I get the feeling this person's like fine without you. You know what I mean? Like, I get the feeling that they're I don't know. Let's pull more cards. What's going on here with these cards? The Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, I'm sorry, the Ace of Wands, the Santa Muerta, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. So, I mean, I don't know if this is somebody that you've been in a relationship with in the past, you know, an ex that you're dealing with. But, I mean, Santa Muerta is the idea of, like, death and rebirth. So, I mean, I want to say, Aries, that for the month of October, I don't know if you've recently experienced an ending or if you are coming, you know, like, off an ending or, like, what's going on with that. But I will say that there does seem to be, like, a level of self-awareness present in this read, where you are, I want to say, recognizing either your own behavior or the behavior of others that is very emotionally reactionary and keeps leaving you in the same spot over and over again. And even though you think you're moving forward, you just keep feeling like I'm still in the same spot. And I think whatever that end or that completion is that offers you this insight, I mean, it leads you to a place of, I mean, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. And this is like all new beginnings. I feel like you're experiencing some ends that are monumental, you know? So I don't know how that resonates for you, but I will say that it feels very big, and I send you all my love and positivity, because I kind of get the feeling that you just feel really stuck in a cycle, and that you're really wanting to break out. And, you know, this seems to say that you have that strength, you know, you have you're Aries, there's nothing you won't do or can't do, so you can get out of a bad habit or a cycle. Yeah, it's harder to do it because it's a bad habit and a cycle, and cycles are hard to break, and we fall into them really easily. So it's like taking the initiative to really break out of that, and I feel like that's where, you know, your balance is coming from, because you're removing the negative habits. You're breaking habits. I don't know if some of my Aries, maybe y'all are cutting back on the drinking, or you know, whatever else it is that you might need to cut back on, you know. It could be any number of things. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a substance, you know. But whatever it is, you're wanting to do away with it. You're experiencing an end that is bringing something to a completion, that is opening you up to bringing yourself back to life. And starting over. I mean, I feel like there's just this, like, clean slate. I'm starting over fresh. I don't know, maybe you guys are getting another job. You know, like you've been hanging out with new people. Um, it just feels like it's just like a clean slate. You were just like, refresh, you know, control, delete, restart. That's what this feels like. And as a result, enabling you to move forward into a place of life that comes with a level of balance that previously had not been present. The Seven of Fire is sevens is usually choices. I want to see what this one says. I haven't seen this one very often. Let me check really quick. Personal best, going the distance, perseverance, and nonconformity. That's perfect. Doing your best to make those changes, to really put your best foot forward. You know, we don't always necessarily know what we're doing, but it's important that even when we don't know what we're doing, we try to do our best, right? You know, so that when we move forward, we're not constantly falling down on all of the roadblocks that we set up for ourselves along the way. You know, I mean, it's just kind of like that idea of that, like, no longer being your own worst enemy. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, I feel like, okay, we'll do one more archetype and then we'll call it a read. The Nectar, yeah. Moving towards what's life-giving for you. You know, moving in this positive direction toward these new beginnings. And finding balance in your life, which is beautiful, Aries. I love it so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope I will see you again soon. Bye.